Hey guys, it's Cross coming back at you with another YouTube video today. So I want to talk a little bit today about the time that I took fake acid. And quick tip, if it's bitter, it's a spitter. Don't eat that shit. If the acid tastes bitter, don't eat it. So to start the story off, me and a couple homies went to this dude who's basically a fucking shaman, and he has everything that you possibly could ever need or want. But the red flag that should have arose to me when I hit him up to buy acid should have been the fact that his tabs were $15 and up. But we avoided that red flag anyways. Me and the homies went over to him and picked up some of this quote-unquote acid, but come to find out, it was a research chemical called 25I, or Nbome, 25I Nbome, and it's a synthetic hallucinogen that's used in biochemistry research for mapping the brain's usage of type 2A serotonin receptors. And I didn't know that if it's bitter, it's a spitter, and essentially, it's a toxic chemical. It can reduce blood flow, and it can cause a lot of health problems and visual and auditory hallucinations, seizures, hyperprexia, elevated white blood cell count, and just a bunch of negative shit. So we get this 25I from this kid, and we're like, fuck it, we're gonna go to my homie's house and we're just gonna, you know, make some pizza rolls and have a good night, watch some cartoons, fucking just trip balls, have a fucking dope night, whatever. Our first time trying acid, let's get this. It took probably about 4 hours for it to roughly kick in, I would want to say. This happened a while ago, but it eventually kicked the fuck in, and holy fuck. This trip lasted 3 goddamn motherfucking days for me. I was hallucinating for 3 fucking days. So we took it at around like maybe 8, 9 o'clock at night, maybe 10 o'clock, and you know, we're going through the night eating pizza rolls, watching cartoons, then just boom, fucking like a truck. The 3 of us got just rammed in the ass, like out of this fucking planet, off this fucking world, melting face, fucked up. We're walking my buddy's trailer park for like 6 hours till the morning time. The sun comes up all night. We were scared to leave the trailer park because we thought, you know, it's unsafe outside of the trailer park. We're probably going to get hurt. We could probably die. You know, we'll probably get arrested. Let's just keep walking the trailer park all night. So we get the courage to walk out of the trailer park, and we start walking probably an hour or two towards like McDonald's. We stopped at a gas station, picked up a pack of Newports, and that was the most chemically toxic cigarette I feel like I've ever smoked. I don't know why. All day I couldn't stay hydrated, and I could just taste chemicals throughout the whole entire day. So we get to McDonald's, and my homies are tripping balls. They give me their money, and they're like, dude, can you please just go order us food? Like, we don't know where we are, what we're doing. We're just like fucked up, melting face. So I go up and I'm like, can I get the breakfast shits? And the lady's like, excuse me. I'm like, you know, like the breakfast shits. Like, I don't know. I got like $50. Just hook me up with a fuck ton of like breakfast shit. So we're eating, and then like we see some homies throughout the early morning that we know, and because we live in a small town, and then we go on our hike. We go into the local grocery store and see someone that we all know very well. And we're like, dude, we're tripping balls. Like, we need something to do for the fucking day, whatever. He goes, all right, cool. Get in my truck. We'll go. So we're riding with him all day. We go mudding. We sink his truck in a fucking goddamn lake. And somehow it was still running. We're like in the town forest. Like, this day just progressively got more and more fucked. So we're out in the woods. We're all having a good time. And then it turned bad. For me, at least. I didn't know what the fuck was real. I didn't know what the fuck was fake. My blood pressure and my heart rate were through the fucking roof. Like, my heart was pounding through my chest. I was scared, having anxiety. And then it kind of turned into fun, but like every second felt like a new moment, and like it was just very out of body and hard to explain. And I don't really remember much of like the whole day or the whole 2-3 day long trip that I had. I just remember melting face and feeling like I was on what acid was supposed to feel like, I guess. And it just got to a point where 2 days later, I no longer had my ego. I didn't know who I was, what I was doing. Every time I looked at the clock, it felt like time wasn't changing, and I felt stuck, and I couldn't move, I couldn't progress, and like I just felt held back. And it was a fun time at first because, you know, I had the homies, like my ride or die boys with me, and like we were all having a good time out in the fucking forest, you know, shooting the shit, smoking cigarettes, ripping vapes, drinking beers, fucking mudding, whatever. Like, we got a whole group of people together, and you know, we were having a good time. And then like it was really hot. It was kind of a cold day, but it was just really hot. And I don't know, for some reason it affected me very negatively at that point, and it felt like I was a human battery, if that makes any sense. I felt completely drained for all my energy. I had no ego. I think I had ego death. I didn't know who I was, where I was, what I was doing. Nothing made sense, and I felt detached from reality, and like everything was fake and nothing made sense, and time wasn't real and people weren't real, and I couldn't just grasp the concept of the things that were going on around me. And I blame a lot of my, you know, negative traits on that experience, because that, I don't know, it just like washed me away. Like I felt like a shell of a human. I didn't feel real. Nothing made sense to me at all. And if it makes any sense for me to explain it like this, so if you've ever done like hard drugs, I'm not going to explain, like, you know, you get the drip and you go, you like clear out phlegm. When I did that, when I took the fake acid, it like tasted like chemicals, like I was licking battery acid, and like it was just overall made me feel very disgusting. And the overall trip was just, it was very mixed for me. It was kind of bad but kind of fun, but it definitely left me very mentally fucked for a long time after that. I couldn't touch drugs. Thankfully I no longer touch drugs. I'm just here giving my stories, you know, trying to give you guys some pointers and shit to avoid if you're gonna do them, and how to stay safe. But holy fuck, man, I was we were trying to smoke weed when we were fucking fucked up on that shit, and like, I don't know, man, it blasted me to the moon, and it made me almost feel like fucking schizophrenic. Thankfully I don't feel that way anymore, but I was hearing voices and hearing music playing when there was no music playing. I was seeing things that weren't there, and just psyching myself out, and every time I blinked I felt fake, and like I couldn't grasp reality, and like just not having myself under control and not being there. I felt very like unaware and very like I was lacking, if that makes any sense. It just overall wasn't a fun experience because I felt paranoid and I couldn't control the things going on around me. And I definitely don't recommend fucking doing that shit. And if you do, be safe, do it in moderation with people you could trust, and, you know, try to have a good time. Try to set yourself in a positive, like, positive place to have a good experience, you know.